All right, Pawpaw people, it is June 22nd. Thought I'd give you an update on how these varieties are doing in this awesome summer heat. Today, we're actually getting a little bit of reprieve from the awesome heat of 108 degrees, and now it is currently 96. It is amazing. All right, so I will go on with the pawpaws. This is a Pennsylvania Golden. I've shown you in other videos. It does not look so good. Lots of death on the big leaves, but I'm still getting new growth. So I feel like I'm watering it enough to a certain degree. There is a little bit of, let's see if I can zoom into that, burnt edges. So maybe I need to water more. And some of these parts are just dying off, which is not so good. But a lot of heat that's going in here, and maybe it's just this variety is having some issues just because it's too hot, and Pennsylvania is a little bit colder than St. George, Utah. So there's one. Let's go to the next one. All right, this is a Susquehanna, and that tip right there is where it was when I planted it. And it has grown about 5 or 6 inches above that top part. Leaves are looking pretty good. Some edges are a little bit burnt, but overall, I think that this guy is really working out. It's really growing, which is a good sign. So Susquehanna seems to be doing pretty good so far in the early summer. We will see how well it does later on. I'll give you the update on the other ones down below on the hillside, which is down here. It's all covered. I also ordered 2 other pawpaws that I'm going to be planting. Total trial and error, they are a little bit bigger. I will update you on that as soon as I get them, which should be this next week. All right, sorry about the noise. That is the pool equipment. So right here, this is where I had one of the ultra select pawpaws that was stellar and awesome, doing great until the thing fell over. I'll put a link in the video somewhere in here. So this is where I'm going to plant one of the new pawpaws that I should be getting this week or next week. And there's a big pile of mulch. And here is the other. This is the Ultra Select Pawpaw. And if we check that baby out, focus, there we go. Check that guy out. Look at it. Phenomenal. Good color. Good shape. It's being watered enough. I'm watering it twice a week. And with this little spray irrigation, if it will zoom in there, there you go. In the bottom left-hand corner, that is a spray irrigation. It does about 8 gallons an hour with the setting that I currently have on there. And I let it go for an hour, and I do it twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week, if we're hitting temperatures of 100 degrees. And remember, this is planted in mostly sand, so it's really good draining soil. And this is just looking awesome. It's about 3 feet high. It started off as a nice little 1.5 foot pawpaw. So we'll move to the next one. This one's the Prima Papa. It is not as tall, but it was, I don't know if you can see the graft union. The graft is right there in the middle. Ding. All right, that was planted at the same time as the Select, and you can see the videos based off of the planting of this one. I also think I got this one from Peaceful Heritage, and it also has been growing pretty good. The leaves on this thing are gargantuan. It is awesome, and it is only about 2 feet tall, so not as much growth, but it's still growing, even in this temperature. And the nice thing about it too is it is not drying out. The edges of the leaves are not having any issues with this temperature. And of course I do have this 40% shade cloth that is green over it, and it is spaced out pretty good. So I have this large opening in the north side to allow for air to circulate, which is very important because I killed some other pawpaws by not doing that in the past. I think it was from not doing that. All right, let's go to the next one. Hey, This guy is the Ksu Atwood Pawpaw. A bug really liked this big leaf, but the new growth is doing good. It is still very small. The graft is at the very bottom. You can see it by that blue tag. That's where the graft is. And this one is only 1.5 feet high. So it's not growing very much or very fast. And I am now going to show you the scratch test of the pawpaw that is right there, right in the middle. That one still hasn't grown, and it's the end of June, so it should be growing by July, but it hasn't yet. So I think I'm going to actually take this guy out and replace it with one of the other pawpaws. And the spacing between this Ksu Atwood and the pawpaw in the back corner there is about 6 feet, which should be enough for these pawpaws to grow. I hope I like pawpaws. I don't know, I've never had one before. I'm just trying all of this in the desert. It's great. All right, I hope that this little update gives you some info on how much I'm watering them, how often I water them. If they start to droop or curl like this leaf is in the top left, then I know I need to water just a little bit more. And sometimes I'll take the hose out and spray the shade cloth. Speaking of shade cloth, this is also 40% shade cloth. Maybe it's 30%. I think it's 40 that I put over the top here. And there's so much space and air under there. And then on the under part, it's about 1 foot up. So it gets some sun in the morning, and that's about it. And it seems to work pretty good. All right. Also, I'm gonna do a scratch test of the mango pawpaw, which is right down there. We'll see if it works. All right. Here are the scratch tests. It doesn't look like much at all. It looks like there's just 2 sticks. And there's the graft. And then this one is the mango pawpaw. There we go, you can see it now. So mango pawpaw, I planted it last year here, didn't put any water next to it. I've just been watering it periodically here and there. And it looks to be dead. How do you determine if this pawpaw is dead? You go above the graft union. So there's the graft, you can tell because of the discoloration. It's a little bit more brown. They had something wrapped around it versus the regular wood that's in there. And I did a scratch test. Let's see if we can see the scratch test. Ta-da! Look at that color. Okay, what color is that? That looks to be green. Sorry, I'm shaky. I've been digging all day. Shaky. But that is green. That means it is living currently. So this pawpaw is not dead. What the crap? Is it ever gonna sprout leaves and grow? Maybe it's a really late variety. Maybe it has to wait until it's 90 some odd degrees constantly to be able to grow. I'm not sure, but it's still alive. So let's go and check out the other pawpaw and see if it is alive. Look at the little green that's growing back there and a little bit down there. So I'm giving it enough water, trying it out. This trunk is looking pretty good still. This one, Taytoo. And my nails are really thin, so I can't do the scratch test with my nails. But I'm gonna take this branch and see if it's flexible. No, that's not very flexible. It does look to be green in there though. So that's a good sign. I'm gonna do a scratch test now and just see if the cambium layer is green. Okay, I like to use my shears to do a scratch test. I just use the blade side of it to scratch it. And here I did the scratch. There you can see it's green. Okay, so this guy is still green above the graft. So I'm just gonna keep watering it. Even though it's June and nothing is happening, well, it's almost June, and nothing is happening yet, it's still growing. It is crazy. So anyways, rule of thumb, just because there's no growth by summertime, here in the hot desert doesn't mean that it's dead. So these guys are known to grow really well in the fall and grow their fruit in the fall. But I'm still a couple years out before I get any fruit. Look at the growth on this guy. Beautiful. Look at those large leaves. Man, zoom out a little bit. Look at that. It's gorgeous. All right, anyways, thought I'd update you on the pawpaws. The persimmons, I still have 3 persimmons that are dormant. And I did the scratch test on them, and they are all still green. So hopefully this helps you figure out that just because it's not growing doesn't mean that it's dead. All right, have a stellar day.